Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we have some breaking news and some big stuff that happened just recently in the past couple of days. One of the most expensive cameras now of all time was just auctioned off for roughly $15 million. It's a whole lot of chicken parm dinners you can buy there. So at the 40th Lights auction, basically, a personal photographer who we'll talk about in a second, one of his cameras was auctioned off and it was estimated to start around $1 million, and the estimated price that it would sell was about 2 to 3 million, well, euro, but $2 to $3 million equivalent type of thing. But what crazily wound up happening is that this personal photographer's camera, which we'll cover in a second again, sold for 14.4 million euros. So like, we'll just say $15 million. That is absolutely insane. But is it, if you get to know the history behind the camera and the person's camera that it was? This was Oskar Barnack's camera. He was a photographer, a German photographer and a creator, inventor, etc. in the past, which we'll cover again as well. But his personal O series number 105 camera sold. And I'll show pictures throughout this whole thing of what it looked like and everything like that. But let's learn a little bit about Oskar and see why this is a big deal. So obviously we know Leica is one of the big names in, the photography, film industry, etc. And they usually come with a pretty price tag on things, and they do things kind of their own way. But Oskar Barnack is a very notable person in Leica's history and in photography's history for a lot of things. But just to kind of give you a little bit of thought behind him to justify this price, and it kind of makes more sense if you know who Oskar was. But basically, he unfortunately passed away in 1936, but he left a huge legacy and history within the community. And like I said, he was a German photographer, an inventor, and he helped essentially create some of the first commercially sold cameras in 1913 for Leica lights at the time. And it was one of the first successful 35 millimeter stills camera that you are Leica. So this guy's like a creator. So once again, it goes to further make sense. And in the early 1920s, he even convinced his boss, and I'm sure you've heard of it, Ernest Lights, this was the second, to essentially fund and help produce a multitude of 35 millimeter still cameras for production and pre-production type of cameras as well, but to also go out and sell to make money. But once again, not on the cheap market for things. But he also became known for his own work instead of just being this inventor and creator, for essentially marrying peoples and relationships to their environments and their surroundings. So this guy, Oskar Barnack, was a big deal. There's a lot more you can learn about him. I'll leave some references down below, but really, really cool. All right, but how about this 14.4 million euro, $15 million camera? What was it exactly? So once again, I'll be showing you some pictures, and all the credit goes towards the foundation, and you'll see on the official Leica website that I'll leave down for credit below as well. Very nice quality pictures. Is that the camera looks beat up, of course, but it really does show its history, in my opinion, and its patina and everything that it has on it. And a lot of people know that, when Leica scratches and everything like that, that patina kind of shows its authenticity and how it uses. And, while you might go, well, I would never buy a beat up camera, etc. Once again, it's a lot about the legacy and the history behind this. Once again, it was Oscar's personal camera, not just one of the other things they'll make, which I'll tackle in a second as well. So that's obviously the big deal. But it was made in 1923. It was an O series, number 105. Once again, the starting price for the auction was roughly 1 million euro. So that's what they thought they would get, and then obviously exponentially got more than that. And obviously, once again, I was saying it was a very limited amount made. I think they estimated about 22 were produced, and a lot of them obviously didn't seem to make it. There was one in 2018, an O series, that wasn't obviously Oskar Barnack's official personal one that was kept in his family, that was sold in 2018 for roughly 2.4 million euro. So now, obviously, if it was 2022, and would have probably gone for maybe a little more, like 3.5 million. Maybe most likely because it's a limited accountability, but because that it has a history behind it, that's why it's fetching this price tag. And I just thought it was interesting that his family kept it the family kept it within their family till the 1960s, until it sold to an American collector, and then thus to today, the big sale, or to these recent times, the big sale and the record-setting history, and holy. And I thought it was interesting to note the original sale with the family to the American collector was that the original leather lens cap was also there. Now, you might see that there is an aluminum one now as well, I guess, for added for protection, and something with the straps have been changed, etc. too. But basically everything that the American collector got was the authentic. The engraved name of Oscar on the top of the camera that you've seen in some of the pictures was original, authentic as well. Once again, noting that it was his personal camera engraved through that as well, with the included 50mm f3.5 lens as well. And like I said, all the images are courtesy of the foundation and through Leica. Once again, look that down below. But man, I don't know. I got really excited to see this because obviously I'm into, film cameras. I got my own collection as well. You may have seen this is my Goose, my Polaroid 600 SE. They call it the Goose. But I've got a little Leica of my own. Well, it's the closest that I have to Leica. This is a Canon. Okay, maybe that's not a Leica, but I'm just kidding around. This is the closest I have to the Leica right here. This is a Leica stand that I got when I used to work at a camera store. All in all, I just thought it was a really awesome history because without this, I don't think I'd have known about the camera or the legacy behind it. I think it's just an awesome thing to know about our history and a lot about how things are made, and just because it has that personal connection and basically being one of the first type film cameras to be commercially successful, or once again, the O series was a very limited run, but what would contribute to that for Leica lights, all that kind of stuff, I just think is a big deal. $15 million, 14.4 million euro. Woo! Let me know your thoughts down below.